Hi, I'm Matthew Campbell. I'm the Vice President of Sales and Marketing at Discover Energy Systems, and today we're going to be unboxing our new Slimline Enclosure. So first, to get started, we should wear our safety equipment. I'll put on a pair of gloves here, and I'll grab my utility knife here to cut off the strapping. All right, so when we unbox, we just take all these parts, discard them, and take the cover off the top. So on the side here, there's some little buttons that we need to take off in order to get the cardboard box open. So once you've taken these off, you can just discard them. There's no need to keep any of that. And the cardboard will come off all sides in one piece. So the next step will be to remove all the styrofoam covers. We can take these off and discard them or recycle them if you have styrofoam recycling. And there we go. So there is our Slimline Enclosure, all exposed. You can see that there's 6 handles on the door here. So we'll go ahead and open these up. And we can just lift the front face off and we'll just lean it up over here. Okay, so here's the inside of our enclosure. And you can see at the top here, there's a set of keys, and there's an awful lot of them, but they're all key matched so that you really only need one key will open every lock on the doors. There's the ground wire there that is actually intended to ground your door to the enclosure, so that should not be connected to the actual battery modules themselves. For battery module grounding, it's actually up here, and there's one of those for each bank of batteries as you go down, the 2, 4, and 6 at the bottom. So as we move down, you can see in the inside of the enclosure here, there's a nice cover here. The battery modules slide really well on that yellow surface. So you mount them in and they slide nicely, and then they connect up on all of these screws on the top, and you can see them down here. Then we get down to our bus bar with all the pre-attached cabling. So they're all matched cable lengths. They're all designed with a Sherlock connector on the ends. So it makes for a very clean, very nice install and quick install onto the battery modules themselves. So up here, as you come in close, this is the RPO board, which will attach to the Link 2, which actually mounts onto the bus bar rack right in behind here. And then you'll have an Ethernet cable that comes off the Link 2 and goes here. There's a little button here that is intended to be pushed once and will turn off or turn on all the battery modules at once. And then there's a remote on-off as well there if you choose to have an external on-off button that can be wired in. So again, all your bus bar with all the wiring. Should you install this with less than 6 batteries, you can depopulate the cables that you don't need. They do come pre-torqued, but as this is a good practice, please just recheck your torque on these, because that's where we see an awful lot of faults when wires are improperly torqued on. So just verify those. They may have loosened in shipping. And then down as we get to the bottom here, there's a nice little cutout here. This is designed for 2 250 amp breakers, and then will attach back onto your bus bar. You can also add fuses to this as well, should you decide to use fuses instead of breakers. And then at the very bottom of the box here, there's a little cardboard box that's zip tied in. Inside of that, you'll find feet that mount, in fact, to the side. Here you can see the holes that are already pre-tapped and drilled. There's 2 on each side, and those feet would be for mounting onto a concrete pad to steady the enclosure, because it is a little bit narrow, and of course fully populated is quite heavy. And inside that box as well are all of the Ethernet cables that you're going to need for doing your communication connections between the modules. The batteries themselves come with the Ethernet cables for battery to battery, but when we have them in this configuration, you need 24-inch ones to reach between the different battery modules as you go up through the enclosure. So we do include those in the box, and that's it. You'd be ready to go. Again, the enclosure itself is NEMA 3R. You can see it's fully enclosed. We have not punched it or put any knockouts in here, so that you as an installer can decide where you want your home run cables to exit the cabinet. So you would either need to drill or punch, and you'd have your install done. There is a provision for a fan kit on the back of these. There'll be a fan kit you can buy separately that will mount onto the backs of the doors, and you'll do all the pre-configuration, all the wiring into that. That is not for active cooling. It is just simply for moving air around inside the enclosure itself. So that is our Slimline enclosure. This configuration with our rack mount batteries is how you achieve UL9540. So if you have an installation where you're requiring a 9540 certification, the Slimline enclosure coupled with our rack mount batteries will get you that, and you're good to go. Thanks, everyone.